Okay, I picked 8 players here who are all-stars, and one's a Hall of Famer and one's a future Hall of Famer right here. I picked them because they all have different stances and a little bit different positive moves, but I want to note the similarities and how they do their things. Here's Pujols in his stance. Right? Now he goes to what we call his negative move. Right? His negative move, all he does is pick up his heel. Right? On his positive move, he's pushing from the back hip and back foot, back leg, back side, however you want to call it. He's getting off this back leg. He's pushing weight onto the front foot. Now he has the heel down. You notice his back heel's coming up. And now his front leg is bent. His elbows come down. His hands are still back at his shoulder. The shoulder's still, he's got his chin over his shoulder. He didn't rotate his shoulders back. They stayed straight. Now he's going to, momentum is taking him forward here, but he's going to straighten this leg, which pushes the hip back, right? His hip's going to go back as his leg straightens. And his leg is straight at contact, right? Before contact. You see, before contact, his hips are completely, his belly button's facing the pitcher, his chest is facing the pitcher, his back foot is off the ground, and his front leg is straight. And you also notice that his front foot is at an angle. All right, now he hits the ball and continues on through. All right, next. We have Buster Posey, who has a completely different stance and completely different negative move. He picks up his knee very high. Now, this is his negative move. Now he's going to move forward into putting his foot down, but he's going to have a combination of gravity and pushing from the backside to get his foot down. Notice when his foot hits, his shoulders are still straight. His chin's over his shoulder, his hands are back. Okay. His hands, he creates distance between here and here. The distance, he increased the distance. Okay. Now his foot hits the ground, his elbow's coming down. And you're going to notice that he is a little bit flexed in the knee, and as this heel comes down, this heel's going to come up. Notice his elbow is into his side. The shaft of the bat is still close to his shoulder. Now he straightens this leg, and this heel, that brings his hip around and this hip back and the foot off the ground. So at contact, his foot's off the ground, this foot's planted at a little bit of an angle, this leg is straight. We see Andrew McCutchen, same thing, stance, negative move. Now he goes into his positive move. And his hands load back right, this way. Right, now his foot's down. Same thing, slight angle. Now this leg is slightly bent. He's going to finish pushing from the back side into the front side. And at contact, before contact, his leg is straight. This leg, foot's off the ground. Chris Bryant, another different stance, extremely wide in here. Okay. Hands are barrels down. Right? Now as he goes into his negative move, you notice the barrel comes up. Okay. When his foot goes down, this leg is bent. His hands are back at his shoulder. Now he's going to come off this back foot, pushing into the front foot. Now he's off the back foot. His front knees, his leg is in the process of straightening. His pitch is kind of low, but he still keeps his hands up. And just before contact, this leg is straight and this foot's off the ground. Notice the similarities between all these guys. Mookie Betts goes into his negative move. His hands are near his shoulder. This front shoulder is in. They're not rotated back. As his foot goes out, his hands stay back, right? His hands stay back as he goes out. Lands at a slight angle. His knee's bent. Right? He's coming off, pushing off this back foot. His elbow comes down. The hands are still back. This leg is bent. It's going to straighten. It's almost straight just before contact. Back foot's up. His pitch is outside and low, so he's taking the barrel toward that ball. He's extending his arm a little bit to get to it. Nolan Arenado, different stance, same thing. Gets to his negative move right there. Hands are back, chin over shoulders. And he's going to push. He's going to push from the backside. He's going to push this foot out. Lands on the inside with a little angle. Hands are still back. Chin still over the shoulder. Pushes. This pitch is down and away. So he leans over a little bit. But you can see his front leg is straight. Back foot's off. He's off the back foot. He's extended his arm a little bit to get to the ball. Throws the barrel at the ball. Bryce Harper comes back. It's a negative move. It's a lot of weight sitting in the back hip and on the back knee, but his hands are still back. His chin's over the shoulder. Foot's in the air. Now he's going to push from the back side. His hands are still back. The barrel's up here. See? It's coming off the back foot. This foot's in an angle. You can see his front leg is slightly bent, not too much. Slightly bent knee. But then when he gets to contact, this leg is perfectly straight. This foot's off the ground. Alright. Ken Griffey Jr. Just a small negative move. Gets loaded on this back side. Right. His hands are back. Chin's over the shoulder. Moves out. You can see he's pushing. He pushed from the back side. Pushed his foot out here. Pretty wide stance. He's landed at an angle. Comes down. His knee is slightly flexed. Now his leg is straight. It's coming off the back foot. Just before contact, that leg is straight. This back foot's off the ground. So you can see that 8 different guys all have different stances, different negative moves or loads, but they all go through the same process. They get off the back foot, onto the front foot, rotate the hips before the shoulders,